Happy birthday to me. Hey, guys, how you doing, man? Woo! It's been a long 2 weeks. Yeah, my birthday was last week, and I wanted to come on, but I couldn't because my wife said, "Nope, it's your 50th birthday." We had a party, then we had another gathering on Sunday, so I just kind of kicked my feet up. Got away from just talking about trucking and all of that kind of stuff, man. And so she just wanted me to push reset and on life. And so that's what we did, man. But we had a good time. We had a good time. I want to thank all the people who showed up. Uh, we kept it small. But we kept it classy, right? Because of COVID, my favorite aunts couldn't be there, my mom. And that's understandable. I'm not doing no tripping. I'd rather for them to be here with me for the rest of the time instead of trying to get them to be with me for one day and possibly get sick or whatever. You never know. So, but we had a good time, man. It was a nice affair, and I say, man, shout outs to my wife. She put together a really nice, elegant affair. And that's something you always got to do at some point in your life. Well, I've done it before. It's not the first time. But for me, putting it on an event where people could pull out the best of best. Because I'm not going to say I'm a hood, but I grew up in the hood. We had everything we wanted, but the needs, and you kind of keep it. Sometimes you throw a big party and you just kind of keep it hood. You know what I'm saying? Because some of them hood parties, the best parties, right? Man, please, you go in there, you sweat it out, and you leave, and you sweating, and you good, right? Those are the best parties. The holes in the walls. The holes in the walls that you go to, man, those are some of the best times. I had my best time at the hole in the wall. Yeah. I had my best time at the hole in the walls. So, man, I had a good time. It was my B-day. I'm still kind of on a high from it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to keep it low key. I'm still on a high from it. And so I just wanted to come in today to let you guys, talk some stuff that I think is important to us as truckers. Just to bring this to you. Most people have some things going on. We got a couple of interviews coming up in the coming weeks. I know the holidays are coming up. But I'm still going to be hitting you guys with news you can use, making sure that you guys are on top of what's going on. And a quick reminder, February 7th, 2022 is when you're going to have to present a certificate in order to get your CDLs. Remember that. February is fastly approaching, so you need to go in and either get your CLP, which is your learner's permit, or go in and have your Class B, not C, but your Class B, have a hazmat endorsement or something on your license to be exempt from that. Go back to one of my, I think that was maybe 3 weeks ago. I laid out some of the exemptions when it comes down to that rule. But if you don't have any of those already present on your license in February, then you're going to be subject to presenting a certificate where you've went to a schooling, an academy, a class, and you've showed adequate knowledge of theory and behind the wheel driving before they will even let you take the test or get behind the wheel to take the test. So remember, February is coming up soon, guys. Take care of your business. And whatever route you decide to take, you could wait. You could wait because you have some good schools out there that, you can wait. There's no big deal. But if I was me. Oh, and another thing. I was helping a guy. I'm always helping guys because they call me and, want to know if anybody's looking for a driver, or what's the best route they should go. And I always fail to ask them what kind of restrictions you have on your license, right? And I had a guy introduced him to another guy. He got a truck just sitting. He needed a driver. The guy had I think the guy had been out of trucking school maybe 3 weeks. And he was finna get under contract with one of these companies. And they promised him he would be out a week and back. I said, okay, you better talk to one of the drivers and see how that works. And then he said, man, I said, well, look, I got a guy, got a truck. He need a driver. I think that he would be willing to take a chance and allow you to get your experience in his truck. And most of the time, that's what happened. Back in the day, that's what happened back in the day. You'll get your license, and you would get on with an owner-operator, or you would get on with a lease company, or whatever the case may be, and you would be there and you would get your experience. And most of the time, it's over the road. That's just how it is. They put you over the road before they put you in the city. I didn't understand that at first because to me, it didn't make no sense. Because if I don't have any experience, why you want to put me over the road? But let me explain the logic behind that. If I put you over the road, that gives you the opportunity to get miles under your belt and understand the truck, right? Understand the truck. Understand how to load it, how to stand strapping down, whatever kind of truck it is, no matter if you in a flatbed, no matter if you're in a van, no matter if you're reefer, no matter if you're in a tanker, no matter what it is. Over the road would give you that knowledge you need of being behind a truck as a new driver. And I'm going to say this here. This don't apply to everybody. This just applies to me. And I feel like I understand why people put first-time drivers on the road, because now you get an opportunity to get your skills up. Most of the time when you go somewhere, you got the opportunity, if you need to back in somewhere, they'll be patient with you because they know that, okay, this is a big load. He's not in a hurry. They're not really in a hurry to unload you. So guess what? If it take you 5 or 10 minutes to back down to the dock where we need you, or if it take you a little extra time to get into the yard and maneuver and turn around to where we need you to be, it's no big deal. And so that's why they put you on that road when you don't have any experience. And I understand that now. It's a lot of things about trucking I understand right now that I didn't understand when I first started. So they put you pretty much out there to let you get your legs. Let you get your legs, let you get comfortable with a truck, let you get comfortable with, knowing how your truck feel and knowing when it's not running right and knowing when to shift gears and all of that kind of stuff. So at the end of the day, I get it, because when I came down when I say came down, when I came from when I transitioned from running over the road to running in the city, it was a different beast. Because now you got to not only know how to maneuver in the place that you're delivering, man, you got to know how to deal with these other cars and other trucks and all of that kind of stuff. And it's really a thin line between being able to not miss an accident, what they call a near miss an accident, and having an accident. Because these drivers out here don't respect trucks. They don't respect trucks. I can honestly say I had quite a few near misses because of cars jumping in front of me, or they getting mad and they realizing, oh, this is where I need to be, and they hit their brakes, and those are near misses. So I understand why they wait before they put you in the city and give you the opportunity. That way, it's saving you. I'm not gonna even lie. I'm gonna say it saved me. So I'm in favor of that process. Now, how long you be out there, it's totally up to, the company you're trying to get on with. Some people say 3 years. They need 3 years experience or whatever. But that's a good process. It's not for everybody. It's not the all in. It's not the alpha and omega process, but it's a process that I think works. So that's a little rambling on me. So we're gonna just talk about a little bit of news tonight. And once again, happy birthday to me. Yes, happy birthday to me. I had a good time. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank God for the ones who showed up. It was invite only, but thank you for your well wishes and happy birthdays and all that kind of stuff. Thank you. But at the end of the day, we had fun. We had a good time. And that's what it was. That's what it was. So here we are. So let's get into this first topic. Let's get into the first topic. This first topic says ELD data services shutdown. I think this was this is a nice topic to begin with, because if you have an ELD, which most everybody, they're saying that you have to have, they're saying that you have to have. And at this point in time, it's good to have, because now when you roll through and they see you got that log in there, they're not worried about, asking you, okay, come on, let me do a check on your logs. They know that you're, whether or not they believe it's operating, it's good. So the ELD, if you people who don't know, the ELD tracks your driver's logs, pre-trip, post-trip, when he starts, when he stops, if he's taking his 30-minute break before 8 hours, or if he's not, and all of that kind of stuff. And it issues violations, not tickets. It lets the company know that he's in violation, so that when they get audited, or if you get pulled over and they ask you, hey, let me see your logs, and you transmit your logs over to them, or you email your logs to them, they're going to see you in violation, because there's no way for you to go in and change it. Now, the company could go in and change it, do whatever, but but once you violate it and you pulled over and they ask you, it's a violation. So that's the purpose of the ELD data services that they offer to truck drivers, right? So let's read the article real quick, and we're going to chop this up real quick. Let's start right here. It says federal regulators are attempting to head off ELD violations by urging carriers to plan ahead for the shutdown of the third generation 3G mobile technology by major cellular companies. Now, 3G was the big thing, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. It was moving over, supposed to be giving you more gigabytes, giving you more bandwidth and all that kind of stuff. Now, they're moving into quote unquote 5G. So now I guess that they got all of the towers and stuff set up, or they got everything set up and ready to move and ready to turn off 3G and turn on 5G. It will affect your ELD. Now, if you got an outdated ELD, or if the ELD is not compatible with the update that they're going to do, if your system not updated, or if it's not the ELD system that you're using is not capable of transferring over to the 5G, then you will have a problem on the road when you're ready to transmit your logs if you get pulled over to a DOT officer, which in turn will put you in violation of not having logs. Let's go down. Wireless providers such as AT&T and T-Mobile are phasing out 3G to make space for 5G. ELDs that are only compatible with 3G will no longer be able to transmit data to the back office or roadside law enforcement, effectively rendering the ELDs obsolete and eventually landing them on the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration's revoked ELD list. FMCSA strongly urges motor carriers to take action as soon as possible to avoid compliance issues, as portions of carrier 3G networks will be unsupported in advance of the announcement sunset dates. So if your truck driver is on the road, or if you don't know about this rule, or if you don't know about this technology that's coming about, you need to open your eyes and understand what's going on. You need to contact whoever you got your ELD system from and make sure that the 3G, the system, will be compatible with 5G, or is compatible with 5G. Now, what that's going to make you have to do, they're going to have to, well, not you, but them, they're going to have to go in and download the data. They're going to go in and download the data, whatever update that whoever's carrying, whoever carrier they're using, they're going to have to go in and have them update, which I'm fairly positive that AT&T, Verizon, Xfinity, whoever they're with, T-Mobile, whoever your ELD is with, whatever system they're on, I'm more than positive they know about this and they're getting ready. But you have to do your due diligence and check, because that's the same way with a house. Buying a car, you have to do your due diligence and make sure that the house don't have no bad bones, that your car ain't never been in a flood. So you have to do your due diligence and check with your ELD carrier to make sure that they're ready for the switch. Make sure that they're ready to cross over into 5G. If not, your trucks will be on the road and they'll be in violation, because they will not have they will not be able to transmit the logs to the back office or email them to the law enforcement agency that pulls them over and does a paper check. So this is a big deal, because if you got to drive out there, what I would do is this. If you're not certain, I would have a driver make sure that you have your paper logs with you, because you should have one. You should have them with you anyway, because you never know when the ELD system is going down. if it shuts down or for some reason that you can't, they should have a paper log with them anyway to start a log if that does happen. So let's go back down and read a little bit more of the article. It says once a 3G network is no longer supported, it is highly unlikely that any ELDs that rely on that network will be able to meet the minimum requirements established by the ELD technical specifications. Including recording all required data elements and transferring ELD output files. Therefore, any ELD test requires 3G cellular connectivity to perform its functional. Will no longer be in compliance with the technical specifications. So let's go down, and I'm gonna give you some dates for, I guess, for the time that they're supposed to do this switch, that the time that they're supposed to enact this type of. It seems like February is a big month. So let's go in. So the agency listed the following dates to complete their 3G sunset. So that means 3G sunset means going down. So 3G will be going down on these dates, or parts of their network may be retired sooner. So, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the football game. So AT&T is set, 3G sunset is set for February the 22nd, 2022. Sprint 3G sunset is set for March 31st. Sprint is set for June 30th. T-Mobile is set for July 2022, and Verizon is set for December 31st, 2022. So I would say for Sprint, T-Mobile, and Verizon, you have a little bit of time, at least 8 months. At least 8 months, because Sprint is not going down until June. Then T-Mobile not going down into July. And then, Sprint has two of them. The 3G sunset is for March, but the LTE sunset is for June. But T-Mobile's 3G is for July. And then Verizon has the longest wait of December of 31st of 2022. So basically, that's way next year for Verizon, but AT&T, Sprint, and T-Mobile and Sprint is on the same network. So I would just kind of look for them. So if you're on those networks and your ELD is running on those networks, be prepared for them to start to phase out, to bring the sun down on 3G in for AT&T is February 22nd, 2022. Sprint 3G is in March. I think their LTE is in June, and then T-Mobile is in July, and then Verizon is December 31st, 2022. So Verizon got a ways to go, but it's important. It's important, and I wanted you guys to be aware of that. Be aware that that's what's going on, that is going to affect your ELDs when you try to transmit your logs, and just be prepared for that. Just be prepared for that. And just know that it's not easy, but it's an easy fix if you just give your drivers a logbook. Give them a logbook. And you may have to run paper logs until they get all of that situated. And it's not going to be a smooth transition, I don't think. I think they're going to have some problems, some issues. And so with that being said, I would just advise you guys just to kind of be on top of that. Be on top of that. ELD shutdown 3G is moving over to 5G, and AT&T will be the first one to move. So now, let's get into this. Let's change this. Let's get into this. Truckers not exempt from the shot. Truckers are not exempt from the shot. This has been the biggest and some of the most tedious stuff because the Biden administration is doing a mandate on vaccine for total America. And I mean, I don't know about that. I have an opinion about it, but I keep it to myself. I'm sure you have an opinion about it. But when it comes down to mandating the shot for trucking organizations, it is very, very, very tricky. It is very tricky. And so you guys need to be aware that they are trying to mandate that you get the shot if in the trucking industry. Now, they've done it in the medical field. They've done it in the medical field. Some people have stood their ground and said, no, I'm not taking it. Some people have taken it. And I think the reason why they feel like that they can mandate it on truckers is because that medical profession is, they feel like the medical profession is bigger and more essential than trucking. And it might be rightfully so. And so if they would have, if they mandate the medical field, why not mandate an industry that is not so essential, right? But that's where they're wrong. We truckers are very essential to the public. They're essential to consumers. We're essential to every facet of living. Now, we may not can save a life. Well, then again, we can, in a way, save a life. Because if we don't deliver medical supplies to hospitals, clinics, doctor's office, then medical can't do their job or administer medicine. Then, if they do have the medicine, now you still have to make sure that patients have a proper diet, they eat well, and all they need for their recovery. I wonder how they get food to the hospitals. I wonder how they get supplies and nourishment in order for a patient to recover to a hospital. So I would think that a trucker is as essential to medical as is medical is essential to human life form. But see, I understand something about the process of life. Everybody is designed to be and do what they do, right? I'm not going to say that I can't and I won't and I never will, but because I do anything to feed my family. But if given a choice, I can't. I don't want to drive. I don't want to go clean porta potties, or I don't want to go. Uh, 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 put solution into porta potties. That's not my lane. That's not something I would love to do. But you have people in that lane that are designed to do that. They're designed to do that. You got people don't want to drive hazmat, don't want to drive a tanker, don't want to sit in a tanker, don't want to know about a tanker. But you have people who are designed to do that. You got people don't want to see the inside of a truck, don't want to know how it works, don't want to know how it moves, don't want to know nothing about a truck. Because you have people that are designed to do that. I don't care how much you want everybody to be successful and have $1 million and be educated. People are designed by God to be who they are and do what they do. Because guess why? They are a part of the gear. They are a part of what makes the world rotate, what makes the world move forward, what makes the world go around. We need each other. Bruh, we need each other. Each portion of business needs one another. We feed off of one another. We supply one another. I don't ever look at what I'm doing as better than what somebody else is doing. Because I need them just like they need me. Indirectly or directly. We need each other. There are lanes that we are designed to be in. Everybody can't be a boss. Everybody can't sit at the pinnacle of the industry. Because if everybody did, who would move? If everybody sat in the office, who would move? Who would arrange? Who would set up for pickup and deliveries? You can't do it all from behind your wheel. You can't do it all from behind the wheel. And I hate people who think they can. It can't be done. You need dispatchers. You need brokers. You need shippers. You need hotshot. We need all of that. Because I'm going to tell you something. Right now, man, it's finna get funky in trucking. And I'm not saying in a bad way. It's finna get funky in trucking. And all I can say is, if you have relationships and they're good, all I'm saying is, this is the time for you to get in, get your experience up, and then have yourself a plan. Don't jump in this industry thinking that I'm finna go buy me a truck and I'm gonna make millions of dollars. People who make that kind of money in this industry been in this industry for 15, 20 years. And I'm not gonna say people. I'm not gonna say all people. You have people who have gotten this and been successful. What I'm saying is, if you're just getting into this industry and you want to be a driver, let me put the box on it. if you want to be a driver and you want to own your own truck and do your own thing, get in this industry, make a relationship, and you can go get it like that. But don't think just because you see somebody who's been in this industry for 30, 40 years, don't think that's where you're going to start out at. You're not going to start there. You're not going to start there. So check this out. I wanted to just start right there with that. Because it's like making it a mandate for truckers to get the shot because you've did it to the medical field, which you think is or that you think was essential, and those are the first ones that need to be, take the shot. And you was trying to mandate it, and you mandated it for them. Once you mandated it for them, you were like, oh, if it's good for them, it's good for them. No. If you mandate and it doesn't get overturned, if the mandate sticks, you're going to have truckers sit down. And you're going to see just how much this world, this nation, depends on truckers. You think the ship's backed up in the ports right now? You think it's inflated right now? You think a pack of hamburger meat going for $12? That little bitty pack, not the roll, the little bitty pack. And some of y'all don't even eat the rolls. I'm talking about the grade A beef if you want to eat it. They going for $20. Somebody put up a post the other day. Last year, 20-pound butterball turkey, $30. This year, 20-pound butterball turkey, $56. They not lying. They are not lying. And somebody say, okay, what y'all having? Turkey or chicken? For Thanksgiving. It is getting hard. And when you can't get supplies and when you don't get supplies, it's going to get even harder. Because I'm going to tell you something. If you think, this kind of reminds me, you know what? This reminds me of 2008 when George Bush was in office and the oil fields dried up. I'm talking about it dried up. No pumping, no drilling. All of it just stopped. At that time, truckers were talking about shutting it down, stopping, pulling over because the rates had gotten so low. Trucking had gotten, I think 2006 to 2010, maybe 2012. I think those were some of the worst times in trucking ever. Those 6 years. I think that was some of the worst time in trucking ever. The infrastructure was bad. The rates were bad. Even diesel was bad for the rates they were giving us, right? I hate to say it, but this feels like 2006, 8, 10, all over again. The rates are not bad yet, but if this mandate sticks and it goes through, and this is back then when they was talking about walking or stopping, pulling over, not pulling no loads, not doing nothing for one day. Back then, it was just over, bad rates. Nobody don't care about that. You worked in the office, you didn't care about the rates of a trucker. So what if you stop hauling or pulling or whatever you do? I don't care about your rates. Oh, okay. All right. But now, when you talking about stopping the supply chain, if you mandate that all truckers have to take the shot, don't ask me where I stand with it, because like LeBron say, that's something between me and my family. That's something between you and your family that you have to talk about, discuss, and make a decision. So don't ask me who I voted for. Don't ask me if I took the shot. Don't ask me if I'm going to take the shot. Because I don't want you to determine what you do for your family as what I do for mine. Truckers, most truckers, some of the truckers, if they decide, I'm going to say if 30% of the truckers decide not to take the shot, and they may do something drastic like suspend their license. See, when you hear people, when you start talking to people about taking away their livelihood because they don't want to do something that the government is mandating, when you start taking away their livelihood, it's different from saying, okay, we just gonna take your whatever. But when you start saying you're not gonna be able to feed your family, you're not gonna be able to pay your bills, because now I'm gonna take away what you do in order to pay your bills and feed your family, it's a problem. It's a problem. So the mandates are going to affect not only the truckers, it's going to affect the country. It's going to affect the country. We've been running freight. We've been moving supplies. We've been delivering everything we could to make life easy when they shut us down 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago. When they shut us down, we kept moving. We kept running. We kept supplying. We kept giving, because we knew that if we did that, then our families would have, everybody's families would have. So we kept moving. We kept working. We kept putting ourselves out there in harm's way. Some truckers made it. Some truckers didn't. But they did it for your family. They got out there and moved supplies for your family. They got out there and risked their health for your family. The shot ain't guaranteed that you're not going to be infected. So some drivers say, man, I'd rather take the chance of my immune system fighting that off rather than putting something in my body. But now, oh no, you got to. It's a mandate. So let me read this article, because maybe it'll clear something up that we not getting. So let me read this here. It says, trucking organization joins lawsuit challenging vaccination mandate. Trucking interests and others have filed a lawsuit in response to the federal government's COVID-19 vaccination requirement that businesses with more than 100 employees require workers to be vaccinated or be tested. So let me say this here about what could happen with that. Say I'm a trucking company. I got 200 employees, right? They company drivers. The way that they can not be under the mandate is no longer have company drivers. Everybody become contract drivers. That's one way. That's one way for a company to not be under the mandate, especially if you have more than 100 workers. The American Trucking ATA, the Louisiana Motor Trucking Association, the Mississippi Trucking Association, and the Texas Trucking Association are among those organizations filing the lawsuit. The ATA has previously said it believes solo truck drivers are exempt from the vaccination requirement, citing comments by the Labor Security Marty Walsh. Now, let me say something about that. Just because you're a solo truck driver doesn't mean that you're not under the company, because I drove solo, but I drove for a company solo. What they mean is if you're a solo entity, meaning that you work for yourself, meaning that you're a one-man company. You have your own authority. You're running under your own authority. You have your own DOT number, and you're set up and you're running loads. That's solo, not solo driver, because you could be a solo driver. I'm a solo driver, and I drive through the city, but I work for a company. That doesn't make me a solo driver. I work for a company. A solo company, someone who has one employee as a company. He's one man operating one company, a solo company, not really a solo driver. So I want to try to clear that up. So solo truck drivers are exempt from the shot requirement, citing comments by Labor Security Marty Walsh. Walsh previously said if you're a truck driver and you're outside, you're in a cab driving by yourself, this doesn't impact you. If you're a worker outside working in the area, this doesn't impact you. Now, let me say this about that. I understand a portion of that. But a portion of that says if you're working outside. Now, as a truck driver, we drive through different climates all day long, in and out different climates all week. And so from that standpoint of it, I understand, because when I used to have to come off the road, I would always detox my body, because I didn't know if I picked up a bug somewhere, if the flu was coming on. So I would always detox my body, right? That was just something that I did. So the mandate, I guess, is trying to protect the home base of drivers who are moving through different climates and in and out of different elements and in and out of different environments. And so, but Mr. Walsh is saying that if you're a truck driver and you're outside, you're in a cab driving by yourself, this doesn't impact you. If you're a worker outside working in the area, this doesn't impact you. That's the only reason I would see that it does impact you, is because of the fact of you do move in and out of different spaces, moving in and out of different climates, moving in and out of different environments, moving in and out of different places over the road. And you never know. And I think they're afraid of what they're saying is contact tracing. You can't do that. So the suit was filed in the U.S. Court of Appeals for Fifth Circuit judge for the Fifth Circuit. Joining the trucking industry interests were the Food Marketing Institute, the International Warehouse Logistics Association, the National Association of Convenience Stores, the National Retail Federation, the National Association of Wholesale Distributors, and the National Federation of Independent Business. We told the administration that this mandate, given the nature of our industry and makeup of our workforce, could have devastating impacts on the supply chain and the economy, and they have unfortunately chosen to move forward despite those warnings, said ATA President and CEO Chris Spear. So we are now regrettably forced to seek to have this mandate overturned in court. To be very clear, ATA and its member companies support efforts to encourage all Americans to get the shot against COVID-19. But we believe the Biden administration has overstepped its statutory authority in issuing this emergency temporary standard. See, right there, it's crazy. Issuing this emergency temporary standard. So why come up with a mandate if it's going to be temporary? That don't make sense. This standard arbitrarily picks winners and losers and puts employers in an untenable position of forcing workers to choose between working and their private medical decisions, which is something that cannot be allowed. This is a private medical decision that they're saying now that you no longer have a choice. Your decision is no longer private. I'm going to mandate you to take this, go get this shot. But the thing got me is he said that this emergency temporary standard, the shot is a emergency temporary standard. So this mandate is not even permanent. It's just for a time being. But we all know that when they write the laws, that they write them in such a way that even though it says temporary, the temporary could last for 20 years. Right. Okay. But like he just said, this standard arbitrarily picks winners and losers and puts employers in an untenable position of forcing workers to choose between working and their private medical decisions. Just going to put drivers in a position to say, do I feed my family or do I risk not being here for my family by taking this, in some cases, by taking this shot? Do I risk it? That's basically what they're saying. The ATA said it believes the Occupational Safety and Health Administration did not satisfy the statutory requirements for issuing this emergency temporary standard instead of going through the proper rule-making process. So OSHA, which put the emergency temporary standard in place, they didn't go through the rule-making process. They just said, hey, we need to do this right now, come up with something, and let's move. That's basically what OSHA did. The Truckload Carriers Association, another major trucking industry trade association, this morning issued a statement in which it said it will continue to work closely with and fully support the work being done by the ATA, American Trucking Association, and our industry partners on behalf of the industry. This lawsuit joins many others that have been filed by states, their attorneys general, and private businesses. So, I mean, it's a real toss up, and we are not exempt as truckers. We are now forced to make a decision about our livelihood and about our health. And making that decision is no longer private. It's public knowledge. And I can't go behind and say, nah, I'm not gonna let you know. It's public. So guys, I mean, until these lawsuits, I'm gonna be on top of it. Until we have some understanding of the lawsuits and have some understanding of where OSHA will stand on this, where the Biden administration will give or not give on this when it comes down to the trucking industry. But you also heard some other associations in there. I'm worried about trucking. All I can say is, man, just make the decision that is best for you and your family. Make the decision that's best for you and your family, and that's all you can do. Don't ask nobody else's opinion. Don't ask nobody what they did. I mean, you can. I mean, your close family, you can. But I would just kind of keep it to myself, whether or not you're gonna move that way or not. But basically, what they're gonna do is they're almost putting companies in the position of saying, "Hey, man, if you don't get it, I'm gonna have to pull you out the truck." And then sometimes, they may say, "Bro, I can't even let you work on the dock. You want to sit at home because you ain't vaccinated." They're putting unvaccinated people. They're putting people that didn't get the shot in a box. They're alienating them, and now it's mandated for the truckers. I'm not gonna tell you what I did. I'm not gonna tell you if I did, which it doesn't matter because I'm not an influencer. I don't influence anybody but people in my household, my family. But I'm still not gonna tell you what I did or didn't do. But you moving toward the shot or not moving toward the shot is on you. It's on you. So, hey man, I just wanted to come on, chat about that. Had my birthday. It feels good to be back and talking with you guys again. Once again, happy birthday to me. Once again, happy birthday to me. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for listening to my opinion. And that's all this is an opinion, and it's never any facts. Well, it's facts, but when it comes down to different topics, it's only my opinion from my expertise. So once again, man, make sure check on that ELDT law coming up in February. Watch your ELD, the 3G sunset. Go check those dates out. Make sure you get your ELD logs updated so they can transmit while you're on that road. And keep your eye on the mandate for truckers and getting the shot. This has been the Freight Trapping Podcast. We will talk to you later. And, hey, be safe. Take care of yourself. And have a really good night. Peace.